people in Africa and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like indigenous people, I think they might have us just like I don't believe that we're the most advanced people that have ever walked this planet. I think there was other civilizations and other groups of people that were just as advanced as us. Even technology wise, they just paint this picture that they want us to think that everybody from a long time ago was so primitive they were fucking with rocks and sticks all the time. And,
didn't have no technology.
It's crazy. Right. Yeah. But you tell us that people lived in huts, but then again you tell us people built things like the pyramids. So what is it? Did they build huts and live in sticks covered with animal skin, or did they build monolithic structures? You know what I mean, like pyramids and these big castles that they had. And I mean, if you just look up like a lot of these structures and buildings that are old, 5,000 years old, and all this, it's amazing. Like we don't have shit like that now.
Precision, like
you know,
like you would have to take a laser or something to try to, or not even that. I don't even know, but they can't even figure out how it was structured. Like
to the point where they even come up with stories about aliens building it. You know what I mean? And we don't even really know about that fully. You know, and so it's a lot, man. That's why I always say you just gotta research things, and that's why I just stopped believing in a lot of different things, yo, because I realized a lot of this shit was just made up for us to follow. You know what I mean?
Throw you off on your path for yourself. Understand
away from nature.
Things that enhance you, they try to distract
you. Yeah, everything's a distraction now. It's like, we don't know if the history is real. You're gonna tell me that, you found a bone. I heard somebody say, like carbon dating. They can only carbon date things to a certain point. Like, if it's past like 5,000 years old, they can't even carbon date it. So for you to find like bones in the ground that's from like what's the old bones that they found?
Different name. I forgot they called it like that.
Lucy.
Okay, so Lucy was one. There was a couple of other ones. But the carbon that if they don't find the bones in the carbon, that means it was something to. And this is my theory, my understanding is like different type of elements on Earth that they did not. That wasn't there. You know what I mean? So it wasn't present in those bones. But those bones have structure like human structure. So
right.
I mean? So it lets you know that we've been here a long, long time.
We've been here a long, long time.
Longer than they said.
And longer than any religion can tell you. You know what I mean? Like even if just
because if you weren't here doing the dinosaurs, how you know about the dinosaurs?
Right.
Because think about that shit.
You know what I mean? Like how you know tell me about something that was
a bone here? They know that's a dinosaur bone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some horrific, crazy big creatures at the same time. But like, how do you get those storyline together? So like that eugenics we talked about and all of that. We can touch on that.
Eugenics and evolution.
Like, nobody evolved from monkeys. That's the biggest lie.
That's the biggest lie, especially that we ain't come from monkeys.
No, man, being created when slavery was going on, different slave owners breeding out humans like dog and cows and shit. So that's another thing. So what you're getting now is a super duper product of something horrifically great that we bringing out now within. That's why a lot of people waking up.
Yeah.
Because they getting the information. And you might have somebody on the football field running a 4.4 that's 270 pounds and he's smart as a whip. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So it's, you gotta look at all those elements. And when they talk about evolution, I do believe in the Pangea effect when all the continents were closer. Were close, and then they might have separated at certain times and spread because that's just how organisms do anyway. They start off and they spread out. That does that on a minute level. Look at it on a big level.
So below.
Bingo. So yeah. And then we migrated and moved around a lot. You know what I mean? Definitely traveling people could look at what's going on now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People moving
every
around.
day,
You know,
all day.
they got to the shift of things up. I also believe that like things that's inside of us, why they harbor, they got these different prisons and jails and stuff in certain places, how that affects the earth and how that affects like things that go on. You know what I mean? Like if you get out, everything affects some kind of way of fashion. So
Yeah.
got all these amount of people that's melanated over here, and you want to keep them there for a reason. How is that affecting the land? You know what I mean? So how is that affecting definitely family structure and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like air is getting ridiculous.
Like I don't even think we breathe like that. Everybody, you can grab this concept. The air now was completely different than the air 10,000 years ago.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, are we even truly breathing real air now? You know what I mean? With all these chemtrails and the toxins and all these factories and plants and all this stuff that we got pushing out all these toxins and stuff in the air. Do we truly even really breathe real? We already know we're not eating real food.
True.
You know what I mean? So are we even breathing real air now? You know, we're just a different breed of human beings now. You know, like you was talking about slavery, they was doing gene editing back then. Even Hitler was in. He even told y'all he was trying to make the great race or whatever he called it. You know what I mean? But y'all know what I'm talking about. The supreme race. You know, so a lot of people were getting into gene editing and fucking with people's genetics and stuff like that. So we don't even really know. We can talk all day. We can look at bones and stuff all day, but we don't really know how we were a long time ago, man. And
especially if the climate was different.
Right.
They were saying each time, man live longer. Yeah, of course, if you got this different utopia going on here, and then the air is different, so yeah, they might have lived for 100, 200 years. Well, 100 ain't nothing.
Who's to say?
You know, so
the water was cleaner.
Yeah, they also had like certain prototypes of men that were, I guess, pushed out different type of lineage of kids. You know what I mean? I can't think of one of the guys' names, but yeah. To the point where they said there's a certain amount of populated land that's out. It's just deep. So they talk about a lot. And they've been manipulating things, even when you talk about the Hitler thing. So they've been manipulating that, the storylines and dealing with that too. And it's also been going on for quite some time. So that's a tactic that's been used for many years. I'm not saying that none of that did not exist. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that as far as the propaganda of them fooling and murdering mass people was just,
right. Did we get the whole story?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all gotta think the same, what we used to call it, the telephone game or whatever, when you used to tell somebody something and you sit in a circle, and by the time they get back to you, it didn't change. You know what I mean? So if that's a fact and just a 5 minute between 20 people in 5 minutes, that message could change. What the hell y'all think happened 10,000, 20,000, even 500 years? We didn't get the whole story to anything. You know what I mean?
For those scientists to push those narratives that they have supreme, being, like, they hit the thing like that's, they was pushing this narrative out to people, and then other people was believing it, and they was just murdering people like they doing that anyway.
They was using science to push that agenda. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Which is wicked as hell.
Wicked as hell. and when he was showing the graph, I might put that up on the video. I should put it up on the video, but how it was breaking down like the ignorant to the intelligent people of all the different races, and then they said 1 out of 4 black people are illiterate. That's not a big difference. 1 out of 4, and they were saying like all the other races was like 1 out of 50, 1 out of 100, or whatever. It was a crazy number. But I'm gonna put that picture up so you can see it. But
definitely put that on.
Yeah, because it was like y'all gotta understand like eugenics is still going on to this day, yo. They're using sciences to treat people certain ways, and they're using sciences to keep to keep the thought forms going. You know what I mean? Like y'all
That's how you get little Johnny believing that he better than everybody and go try to shoot up the whole
Exactly.
school or some
You
shit,
know what I
you
mean?
know what I mean, or whatever the case may be, because what's been passed down, they've been telling
Right.
the kids and shit.
It makes everybody believe that you tell everybody that black people came from monkeys, and we already know how violent and aggressive monkeys are. So it kind of gives them the okay to treat us the way they do, because they look at us
classified as like less tinsel,
yeah,
all this shit, and it's in the law book, like it's still documented right now. Like they had not changed that
so
shit.
You don't
watch
why they treat us the way they do. They have their shit to justify why they treat us that way. So y'all gotta be careful of what you believe and where it come from, man. Because eugenics, evolution. We all know Darwin started evolution.
Right.
He was racist. He owned slaves. So it makes sense that he would say black people come from monkeys. You know what I mean?
I guess the monkeys today didn't turn or whatever.
Yeah. And the skin on a monkey, once you shave them, it's white. But I guess I don't know how our skin just miraculously turned brown. I guess because of the sunlight after they lost their hair. I don't know, but whatever story y'all trying to tell us, it don't make sense if you think about it. Instead of just accepting, we accepted all these stories in school.
They taught that to us in school, like the whole theory about the monkey ape shit.
That whole picture of the monkey,
I hate that.
And then he started to stand up, and then
and I'm looking like, okay, this is Homo sapiens, and I'm like, wait a minute, you get from that to this,
it's okay for us to say we don't know. You know what I mean? That's being a bigger person to say you don't know something. You know what I mean? Because for all these scientists and government and all these people to act like they know everything about what happened in history, that's some bullshit. We don't know anything. So what's the saying? The man that knows some things knows he knows nothing at all. So that's what we need to come to the conclusion, man. It's a lot that we need to learn, but at the same time, we can't be focusing on the past too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we need to focus on the present, not even the future, because the future is created through the present. You know what I mean? You every single decision you make, rather if I get up right now and go use the bathroom, or if I stay here and continue talking to y'all, it's gonna change my future. Even if it's in the minute level, everything you do changes the future, but it happens in the present. You know what I mean? So
that's why it's important. When I talk about keeping your mind in the right place in the present moment, in the right moments, because you can be in a negative space, but you know what to do to get yourself out of that space, so you can change that the algorithm or whatever's going on for your future, so you can have to get your day started for tomorrow or whatever the case may be. But you have to stay in the present moment. That's important when it comes to doing the shadow work and stuff like that, talking to different people and trying to get all the trauma bonding and things out.
That's
a lot of hurt people out there. You know what I mean? They continue just to hurt more people. So if you ain't there with yourself and your own personal bullshit and look yourself in the mirror about certain things, then you can't really, you don't want to pass that energy off to nobody else, your kids. And it's like just on some GP shit. That's not gonna work.
But that's one thing. I mean? That's a big thing. Black people gotta get away from is us bonding through trauma. And the main trauma we bond with is white people put us in slavery and this and that. We love to say that shit, you know what I mean? And that's just our way of bonding, when we should be bonding on deeper things than that, on us trying to get out of our situation, because ain't no white person gonna get us out the situation, no Spanish person, no Asian, nobody's gonna do that shit but us. So we have to wake up, and ain't no God in the sky that's looking through the clouds gonna do anything, because if they was, it would have happened already.
And I don't really like when they talk about karma and shit like that. I'm like, okay, so if we were the most oppressed, supposedly, at certain times, which we were, where's the karma for the good things that are happening, supposed to happen for us? You know what I'm saying? So when I look at it on the grand scale, it's a lot more of it's a lot more people going through things that we shouldn't you're going through, we should be at the top of everything. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case.
Right.
So you have to look at things for face value in the present moment. Like what information you know now, how can you better the situation? And how can you work together to empower each other to continue moving on forward? So that looks like monetizing, currency being fluctuated within our own communities and how we view things or whatever. Because they get mad when like the Chinese or somebody they selling stuff that we good and we have, but we done it before them. You know what I mean? So that's how they know how to come at us with the food they make and even the hair. We was wearing the hair, we was wearing the wigs before all that. So it doesn't even matter. Just get back to yourself, get back to that old school way of teaching and helping your family out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Working together. Some families can't work together. I get it, but then you can still find a community of people that you can within your own paradigm.
Right. You gotta build your
tribe.
Your blood ain't the only family that you can have. You know what I mean? Because if you just stick with your blood, like you just said, you don't always get along with your bloodline. So if that's the only family that you're trying to build with, and you don't get along, now you by yourself. So
be the dead horse at the end.
Right.
I hate to say it, but everybody can't evolve in the same way. Now, I've seen other people that do. They bloodline take a stand, right or wrong. I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
But and there's other aspects that whatever you don't have that supportive dad or supportive mother, or supportive cousin, father, whoever it is, you can still find that support within another person that's not in your bloodline. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's different.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But we're gonna definitely touch on some things on the next one. So just stay tuned, stay focused.
Yeah, stay tuned.
And keep that knowledge of self supreme for yourself and your family.
Yes, and research, question everything, research everything. Just try to learn as much as possible, but also know that you can't learn everything. And just one thing I want to say, just going back to spirituality for people that are trying to get into being spiritual. Read your own. Don't even ask people what book should you read. Just look up spiritual books. Whatever book resonates with you, read it. You know what I mean? Eventually, you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna know what you should be getting into and what you shouldn't.
Right.
Don't be so spooked out about spirituality. Everything ain't about. Even though voodoo isn't evil, but everything ain't about the movie voodoo. Right. The movies, you know what I mean? Like the movies that have you looking at voodoo, scared as hell. So you know what I mean?
Or whatever you want to put the name on it.
Right. You ain't gonna have like Buddha ain't gonna be coming at you with a fucking machete. You know what I mean? Like that's y'all gotta take the spookism out of everything. But I would just say research everything. If you're coming out of religion, whatever religion that you're in, research it. If you question it, research it, because the pastor and everybody's not going to be able to tell you everything because they don't know everything about it. I've had a lot of pastors or bishops or whatever. Yeah. They don't even really know where a lot of like the Holy Bible, who King James was. They don't really know that. So, just research a lot of things. Of course, ask questions, but whatever feels right to you, then it's right. You know what I mean? As long as you're not going against people's free will and you're not hurting nobody and no kids or whatever, it's not wrong. If it feels right to you, do it. If you want to live all day meditating, then hey, do it. If you want to live all day eating Cheetos, that's what you want to do it. But don't look at people that want to be healthy and like, oh, you're choosing to eat Cheetos every day, so that's your choice, and you have that choice, you have that right. But at the same time, like me, I don't eat meat, but I get people all the time, and when I tell them that, they look at me like, oh, I can't eat this hamburger around Brandon. Like,
one of them.
Yeah, I don't care if you eat a hamburger around me. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that's gonna be like, oh, now I will educate you on it if you ask me, or if you're curious about a couple of things, or if you ask me why did I stop eating meat. But don't ask me that question, and then I start going in, and then you're looking at me like, damn, Brandon, why you telling me that? You know, you know. So it's all a learning experience.
And I still eat seafood. I'm still like working on the kinks of that, but it's still ways you can eat the things you like in a healthier way. You know what I mean? So, and everybody's different. So like
everybody's different. But yep, we'll talk to y'all again next time.
Reiki classes coming.
Reiki
and
palm reading.
I
do the birth charts already. I do the sound baths already.
Spiritual cleanses of homes and all that certified and everything. So
if you need your space purge, we got y'all.
And then you talk about the jewelry crystals and like the different next event that's coming up.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I'll mention that on the next one because I gotta write down some stuff. But yeah, we're gonna do some videos on crystals and stuff because I got a whole different perspective on crystals that I want to tell people. You know, I've always believed in crystals. I love them. I wear them all the time. But you know, even I'm skeptical about certain things that I'm told about crystals. You know, like the mysticism on crystals and the metaphysics of it. And
I just like when you talk about the water. You know what I'm saying? Like putting the crystals in water, like to cleanse the water, to alkaline your water.
Oh yeah, the alkaline water. So I do the distilled water with amethyst and citrine in it. Let it sit in there for like 24 hours before you drink it. But you know, she coming to get me, so we gotta cut the video short.